Am I the jerk because I dropped my friend after she had a bipolar crash out? So this friend and I have been on and off friends for a while. Not because of fighting, just not keeping in touch. We recently began getting closer, but not super close. So she invited me to see her before she moved and to help with some packing. I came over and we were hanging out. We were drinking, having a good time. After a bit, we decided to start packing. So I'm packing a bag of clothes and she's just not helping, expecting me to pack everything up for her. I stopped packing because I wasn't feeling good, and also I came to help, not do everything. The next morning, her mom comes. She was flying from out of state to come get her, and they were going to drive her car back to where her mom lives. But right before her mom arrives, the friend starts just hammering down shot after shot, and within like 20 minutes turns into a screaming, crying mess because she doesn't want to move, but it was her decision to move, so AITA if she started regretting it or what. Anyways, her mom gets there. I brought like 2 boxes down to the car to help out, but by that time, she was cursing all of us out because we were trying to get her to stop drinking. She was having a full-blown meltdown saying disgusting things to everyone around her, calling her dad and stepdad gay F slurs and to suck each other's dick, calling her mom a bitch, calling her boyfriend an asshole and her other friend a dumb cunt for not letting her drink, and calling me a dumbass bitch and I'm fake, etc. So I stopped helping and sat on the couch. I decided at that point I wasn't going to continue this friendship because of how she was treating me and her family. She was screaming bloody murder at this point. All of this is going down in the garage, and neighbors are staring. Every time it dies down, she starts it back up and continues. I distanced myself and was calling my sister for a ride. As I'm on my phone dialing my sister, she gets mad, accusing me of recording her, but I ignored her. I eventually got home and she called me, basically saying I was judging her. All I said was, "I'm not judging, I'm concerned." She hangs up and sends me like 3 texts saying I'm unfair. I don't reply. About a week later, she sends me a huge paragraph stating how I'm a terrible friend and I'm lazy for not helping and I'm pathetic. I responded basically saying she was acting entitled and honestly really rude, and I don't want to be treated that way. Some backstory. She's never had a job. Her family funds her entire life, yet she's so rude to them, so I called her out on that and called her entitled. She responds saying, "I left her at a low moment, and I'm a bad friend, so now I'm wondering, am I the asshole for dumping this friend after this outburst? I know she had bipolar. Was it cruel of me to end our friendship over that? Should I be more understanding of her disorder? Or did she go too far?"
Am I the asshole for yelling at my husband after he, a 4-year-old man, failed to take our son to practice while I, also 44, was sick? Last week, I had a massive migraine and was pretty much incapacitated, lying in bed. It was time to take our 9-year-old son to hockey practice, which is usually my thing. So I asked my husband, "I am so sorry, I cannot do it today with this splitting headache. Even Tylenol is not working. Can you please take him? And thank you." I said sorry and thank you multiple times, by the way, so it was a very kind request, and it was very clear that I was truly unwell. He said yes. He asked me what time they should leave, and I said 4:15, and I reminded him not to be late, because otherwise they would not make it on time. He went downstairs around 3:50, and I heard him tell my son to get ready. Then I heard some banter between him, my son, and my son's neighbor friend, who should have been sent home right away because it was time for my son to get ready. I did not pay any more attention, but after a while, my son came upstairs and said, "Mom, it is 4:25 already. Can you help me get ready?" And I heard the friend just leaving. I was insane. He yelled right back, saying he was done with my yelling, and he started blaming my son and me for not teaching him to get ready on his own. Some harsh words were exchanged. I think he used them first, and I responded, "But honestly, I cannot be sure." The thing is, my son's jersey and socks were in the fresh laundry pile, so truly he could not have found them on his own. He needed a parent to help him. So I helped him get those and his other gear, and I kept ranting at my husband about how I have to do things even when I am not well, how he is useless, things like that. Meanwhile, he was not helping with any of this. He was already in the car waiting for our kid to get in, and then they left. A couple of minutes later, my son called from the car complaining that his dad was yelling at him. I said, "I am sorry, buddy." And then my husband got on the phone and said, "You both are freaking lunatics and I do not want to drive you." I said, "That is fine." He promptly drove back, flung the car keys in the garage, and walked away. Meanwhile, it was already 4:35, very late, and my son was looking frantic, so I ended up driving him to hockey myself. I do not think it was the best decision, because it was probably not a safe choice with that migraine, but I did not want him to miss his class. Normally, I stay there for the 2-hour practice or game and watch, but I could not even sit there with the pounding headache. I came back home, went straight to bed, and set an alarm for pickup time. 3 days later, my husband came to talk. No apology, just mostly mad at me and wanting an apology from me. When I said I feel like he does not care for me and felt like he put me in danger, he said, "You brought this onto yourself because of the yelling. Clearly, you could not have been in as much pain because you were able to yell." He called me abusive and made it clear I deserved his reaction and that he would do it all over again. When I said he should have been able to take our kid on time, he did not think that was a big deal. He said it is the kid's responsibility to be on time, and he thinks I put myself in danger and should have just let the kid skip the class. Here is my side. I think he was being incompetent or just indifferent about taking our son on time. He did not send the friend away on time. And even if he did not want to help our son get ready because he believes a 9-year-old should be self-sufficient, my husband could have at least directed him earlier so he could get ready on time. I know I yelled and lost it, but it felt so helpless. I could not even get a few hours of rest with everything being taken care of properly and without having to involve me. It has been a week now, and we are not talking, because my husband thinks he has already made an attempt to patch up, but with no apology, no acknowledgement, nothing. So apparently, I am at fault. I just cannot shake off the feeling that he did not care if I or our son were safe or not, especially since he knew I eventually drove him anyway. So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for forcing my mother to come back from vacation? I am a 25-year-old guy, living about 10 minutes from my childhood home, where my mom now lives alone. She has 2 dogs with her. One is an old family dog that is turning 15, and the other is a puppy that is about 8 months old. For context, they are in an apartment. These are small dogs, and there is plenty of space for both. Regardless, I moved out 3 years ago to live with my partner. We live in a pretty small apartment that is basically just a bedroom and a kitchen. So sometimes, if my mom had to go somewhere or whatever, I would drop by her place to babysit the dogs after my shift, since I work only night shifts. This month, she was supposed to go on vacation to a beach abroad. I agreed to come a few times a day to feed and walk the dogs, no problem. She told me they had been having a bit of an ant issue recently, but that it was not too bad, and I said that was okay. So, first day of her being abroad, I come over to walk them, and everything is fine. I pour them some food and water and leave. I come back later in the day, and I notice that they have not been eating or drinking at all. We live in Europe, and there is a huge heat wave going on right now, so I am thinking this is not good. I pick up the food containers that they eat from and pour the stuff down the toilet so I can replace it. Along with the food, I noticed something that I thought was dirt, just this huge black mass of speckles, and then I realized it was moving. It was ants. Like, more ants than I have ever seen together in my life. It had to be in the hundreds. No wonder they were not eating. I try to get them to eat and drink, but they just do not want to. I come back the next day and try pouring them some water and food before we take a walk, hoping they would eat it quickly. They do not want to. I pour them some food and we go out for about 30 minutes. We come back and the little one starts eating. And as soon as she does, a bunch of ants just disperse from under the food. Then she pees herself, and the older one starts licking it. Mind you, he has not been drinking water for 2 days now. At that point, I lost it. I called my mother, yelling, asking her how on earth she thought it was a good idea to leave 2 dogs in an infested house. I told her she clearly did not plan this at all. I said that if it was like this, she could have gone on vacation, and we could have had the dogs stay at one of those dog-sitting places while an exterminator could have taken care of the ants. 3 birds, 1 stone. So she came back after being away for only 2 days. The whole vacation was supposed to be a week, and now she is pissed at me for not being able to do her this one solid. She keeps saying how she is so tired all the time and deserved a vacation. I told her she did deserve a vacation, but we should have organized accordingly and not have ants crawling around in their food. I am worried that the ants maybe bit their mouths or something like that. I have no idea. I am just mad. My mother-in-law says I was out of line, but I do not know. Am I the asshole?